So everyone, during this hour, we will be reading an article on helicopter parents. And if you're a parent, or even if you're a child, you might find it interesting. So this will be interesting to everyone. So, and hello again, Ampero. It's nice to see you again. Ampero. Okay, maybe she's still.
I'm here now.
Oh, and now you're here. Okay. It's nice to see you again. All right. So right now, what time is it in Ecuador, Ampero?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay. It's 1 p.m. for me. Anna, what time is it in Spain?
9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay.
Yes, 9 p.m.
Okay. And Jorgen, is it also 9 p.m. in Jordan
Yes, it's
Denmark?
also 9 p.m. in Denmark. Yes.
Okay. And what time is it in your part of Russia, Ksenia?
It's 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Okay. So you're in Moscow or that area?
Yes.
In that time zone. Okay. And then Monica, it's also is it 9 p.m. in Italy?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, so we are going to do an article on helicopter parents. Does anybody have any idea what helicopter parents mean? Any idea?
Yes, maybe when parents are too much protective with children.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Very much so. Looks like we have a few more people I need to greet. Is that Vislo? Visla?
Hello,
Hi, how do I pronounce your name?
Vyacheslav. Very good. You said very good.
Okay, all right. And you are from Poland?
Yes.
Awesome. Were you in my class a few weeks ago, or?
Yes, maybe.
Maybe not. Maybe you were. Okay.
I
Maybe
don't
that's
remember.
why I knew. I don't either, but I was like, that must be why I know, because I wouldn't know otherwise. So, welcome. My name is Holly. So, German, welcome.
Hi, Holly. How are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So, what time is it in Chile right now?
It's 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Okay. And Ana Cristina, nice to see you.
Thank you, teacher.
Awesome. All right. So everybody, just a quick round. I think it's awesome when we have people from several continents. So I'm going to quickly introduce everybody, just in case you don't know each other, and then we will go ahead and start again. So we have Ampero from Ecuador, and we have Ana Cristina from Colombia. Then we have Ana from Spain, German from Chile. Finally, I learned it, German. So
it's okay.
And hello, Huseinaga.
Hello.
You snuck in there. I didn't see you. So Huseinaga is from Azerbaijan.
Yes.
And then we have Jorgen here from Denmark, Ksenia from Russia, Monica from Italy, and Vislav from Poland. So, and everybody, just to remind you, I am from Idaho in the United States. It's a very small rural state, and you don't really meet a lot of people from Idaho. So, all right. So, Anna was just saying, when many of you were coming in, that possibly helicopter parents mean overprotective parents.
Okay, so, thank you.
Overprotective. Now, is there any other ideas? That anybody have any other idea of what it could be? Overprotective parents? Anything else? I spelled that wrong. So, Anna, you were completely right. It is overprotective parents. So, helicopter parents are parents that just are a bit overprotective. Are any of you guys, who here are parents? Ampera, do you have kids?
No.
No? Okay. Ana Cristina, do you have kids?
No.
No? Okay. So and I don't have any kids either. So Anna, you have a couple kids, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in the German, do you have kids?
No.
Okay. And Hussein Naga, you have two. You have a daughter and a son, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And Jorgen, do you have kids?
No, I don't.
No, okay. And Ksenia, do you have any children?
No.
No? Okay, Monica, do you have any children?
No.
No, okay. And Vaislav, do you have any children?
Yes, unfortunately only one.
Unfortunately, only one. Okay, more than me though. So okay, so we have 3 experienced parents in here. So the rest of us will be coming kind of from the child perspective, maybe. So, is it easy to be overprotective, Vaislav? As a parent, do you want to be overprotective, or is it better not to be?
I'm not sure if I could understand this helicopter parents.
Okay.
Maybe that I look from far what is happen and help.
Actually, no, you don't look from afar. When we read the article, you'll see.
Okay.
It's not from afar. Okay. Yeah. So overprotective parents are very they are always in their kids' lives, even after they leave home.
No.
So Anna, no. Okay. So you don't think it's good?
Yes.
Not you. Okay. Anna, are you an overprotective parent?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I always being an overprotective mother, and I always had help my children to study it, and other kind of things. Nowadays, I think maybe I. It wasn't good because, in my opinion, these children don't usually mature properly if you try to avoid any kind of damage he could suffer. And yes, go ahead.
Amparo is asking, how old are your children?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
How old are your children?
My children, one of them has 36, the other one has 30 years old.
Okay, so they're older.
Yes, they don't have any problem now, but I understand that when parents are in overprotective, they don't help children to mature in a proper way.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
it takes a long time. Long time when you help to children too much.
Okay. Question for you, Anna. Not question. Feedback for you. In English, when it comes to age, we don't say have an age. Okay, so we use the to be verbs. So you would say one is or he is 30 years old. Okay, or she is 30 years old. Okay, so
yes.
the verb is instead of has, and I know that depends on the language. So, all right, Hussein Naga, are you a overprotective parent?
I don't understand about children of Anna. One of them is 38 and other 30 ages.
No, so you said 32, Anna, didn't you?
30.
Sorry, 36, 30.
Okay, 36 and 30, okay.
30 and 36 for mother also children, but you protect him? I don't. You can advise for them. What protect you I don't understand what.
Yeah. Well, isn't a mother for life? So.
I don't understand. Sorry for interrupt. I don't understand exactly what you mean. Nowadays I am not super protective with my sons. I went overprotective when they are children.
When they were kids, yeah. So when they were younger, not anymore.
No,
not
no.
anymore.
No.
All right.
For my, for my younger son is 13 years. I can protect him, but I cannot. I think overprotect. If I came your room, I think not good without or touching what kind or taping a door because I don't disturb him. You know, it is a very big problem. We must very big problem in life. We can recommend, advise him, but overprotect we cannot. Impossible.
Okay.
Opinion. We can protect from environment. Environment which brings environment. Not overprotect is not good.
Not good. Okay. All right. And Rodolfo, are you a parent?
Excuse me, can you repeat?
Are you a father?
No.
No.
I'm
Okay.
not.
All right. Thank you. And Ampero, were your parents overprotective?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. If even now we all are adults and they are always taking care of us. When you have to go out, my mom and my dad, they're asking, please call when you arrive to that place or not. Yeah. Don't come too late. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Vaslav, were your parents overprotective?
No, I'm not, but I'm a lucky man.
Oh, that's right. You're a parent. Okay.
I have a wife who is protected mother.
Okay, she's a protective parent.
But I think my son is just now 23. This is the best time to taste the life. And I am in comfortable position.
Okay, awesome. All right. Rodolfo, were your parents overprotective?
Yes, I think yes. When I was in my childhood, my parents tried to overprotect.
Okay.
But this is common in my country, I think.
Okay. All right. And German, how about your parents? Were they overprotective?
Yes, sometimes even I had to tell them, don't be so overprotective, please.
You would remind them, Mom, Dad, I need my...
Leave me alone, let me be.
Yeah. And Monica, how about you? Were your parents overprotective?
No, they weren't, and they've let me do all my choices, and they let me follow my path, and I used to be quite independent. Obviously, they are there when I need them.
Yeah. Jorgen, how about your parents? Were your parents overprotective?
No, you cannot say that. I lived at a boarding school for 5 years.
Oh wow!
Although I visited my parents in the weekends, but living in a boarding school with a lot of other children, that enhances your ability to manage life yourself and builds you up as an individual person in another way than if you are living with your parents all the time.
It makes you more
I had
independent.
a sister, and so we were only us two children, and so it was a small family compared to others.
And it's funny because when I was a teenager, Jorgen, there was a TV show. It was called The Facts of Life, and it was about a girls' boarding school. So it was all of us wanted to live in a boarding school. So, but I remember my friends in college, they were saying, yeah, when I was a teenager, I wanted to be in the boarding school. So, Ksenia. Go ahead.
Yes, go on.
I was going to ask, you can respond. Okay. Ksenia, how about you? Were your parents overprotective?
Yes, I think so. And I think it's so much when your parents acting like helicopter parents. I think it's very annoying activities from your parents.
Okay. Yeah, and my parents were not overprotective. However, looking from the outside, if you were to see my parents had some silly rules. And so everybody thought my parents were very overprotective, but they really weren't. My mom would not let us watch any Star Trek or science fiction. So when Star Wars came out in the 70s, we were not allowed to watch it. And so and my dad didn't let us play playing cards, and so we had some silly rules that made it look like that they were very protective and overprotective, but they really weren't. And as a teenager, I could make most of my own decisions. I even decided when I went to bed what I would do. They were not overprotective at all. So, okay, so let's go ahead and read this article about helicopter parents and see exactly what helicopters parents are. We have 4 words in the article. We have, I will write it in capital letters on the chats. We have social, contacted, grades, and manage. Okay, and I will put this in both of the chats, and hopefully everybody has a chance to read. Bear with me a moment. Okay, so let's start out with Jorgen, could you read the first paragraph?
Most parents take an interest in their children's development. However, in recent years there has been increasing criticism of parents who are overly involved in choices made by their offspring.
Excellent, thank you. And Ksenia, could you read the next paragraph?
School teachers often bear the brunt of the so-called helicopter parents, who are always hovering in the background. Teachers who assign low manage?
No, it would be grades. These are the numbers.
Grades is like marks? About
yeah. Yeah, it's
low
like
grades. Low grades to a student find themselves having to defend their decisions to outrage parents. Some schools have been forced to ban parents from school premises and refuse to meet parents who are abusive.
Okay, excellent. Next one, Huseinaga, can you read that one? Huseinaga, are you there? Okay, there you go.
Helicopter parents also get involved when their children are at the university. Faculty staff can claim that they receive regular calls from parents concerned with the welfare of their offspring. Some universities resort to issue guidebooks to pregnant parents, encouraging them to step away from the temptation to contact their children's lives.
Okay, and that would be actually manage their children's lives.
Manage their children's lives.
All right, thank you. And Monica, can you read the next paragraph?
Helicopter parents may not realize the damage they could be causing. Psychologists point out that children need to make mistakes and learn how to solve problems on their own. Having a parent in the background assisting with everyday challenges can lead to an adult with severely reduced decision-making skills.
Okay, so one word, Monica, is damage. Damage. And then severely. Severely. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And you're welcome. German, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. The influence of pushy parents is even being felt by employers. A few years ago, parents just gave advice to their children about possible career paths. Nowadays, however, each HR department's reporting being contacted by parents and asked for information on working conditions and benefits. Some companies have taken the step of arranging seminars designed for the parents of would-be employees.
Okay, so remember German, it's instead of designed, designed.
Designed.
Yeah. And also pushy. So instead of, it is, we pronounce it pushy. Pushy parents, okay?
Pushy, okay.
And Rodolfo, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay, the idea of parents getting directly involved in their children's lives was almost unheard in the previous generation. However, commentators say that the spread of the helicopter parents phenomenon is just one aspect of a society where children are increasingly unable or unwilling to assert their independence.
Okay, so social commentators. Okay, and one thing, it sounds to me like Rodolfo, when you're speaking, it sounds to me from what I can hear, you need to enunciate a little bit, which means you need to open your mouth just a little bit wider. Okay, and I know that I used to tell my Finnish male students all that a lot because they would speak like this, you know. But so one thing, for example, phenomenon, society. See, so what I'm hearing you say is phenomenon. Okay, you're saying all the sounds, but your mouth is not wide enough. I think is what it is. I'd have to actually see you on a camera to see if that's the case, but that's what it sounds like. Okay, society. So sometimes, especially with men from certain language groups, they don't always open their mouth wide enough. So that's what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So are there any words or phrases in here that people do not know? Let's go through this. Does everybody know what offspring means? Anyone know offspring? Children and grandchildren. Basically, your offspring are basically people who come after you are your offspring. Okay, and anything, see, overly involved. Yeah, Ksenia already asked this. Grades are your marks in school. In the U.S., we have a system where we go A, B, C, and C, D, and F. Other schools, I know in Finland, they had marks from, I think it was 1 to 9. So each country is a little bit different. Premises. Does everybody know what premises would be? Anyone? Okay, so that's a
It's like a statement.
Well, no, it's a location or building.
Oh.
So, and forced to ban would be not allow. So then, some schools have been forced to not allow parents at the school at all. Parents are being abusive. So, all right. Next word. Helicopter parents. Anybody? Any words in here? Fretting parents. This would be complaining. Complaining parents. Manage also, another word for manage would be to control. Oops. Control their lives would be another word. Or to manage. Okay. Any other words? I'm trying to find the ones I think people might not know. The influence of pushy parents. Anybody know what that would be? Pushy.
Yes, I think it would be aggressive.
Yep, aggressive parents. Perfect. Yep. Okay. Depends. And this, to me, I get the school one. I don't get university, and I definitely don't get the first job. You know, I go. Parents just give shut up, considering career paths. HR departments are being contacted. That's amazing. Arranging seminars for parents of would-be employees. Okay. Are there any other words or phrases? Did we cover?
I have please first.
Yes.
First.
What word?
Yeah. First. Pair, about pair. Can you step down?
Stay down. Okay.
Step down.
Go down.
No. First paragraph.
Oh, okay, in the first paragraph, okay.
What is bear? School teachers often bear the brunt of this so-called bear the brunt.
Oh, they always have to to bear the brunt of something is they have to deal with difficult people. Okay. So if you say, for example, if you work in an office, maybe, and you don't actually talk to customers directly, it's your customer service representatives or your secretaries or assistants that have to deal with the brunt of the angry customer, right? And the same thing here. The school teachers have to deal with the difficult parents. And some of the parents are very well-meaning, and they just. My sister is like that. Her child is just starting school for the first year, and she's, she sees something weird or strange. She's a former teacher, and so she will definitely say something. And the school, I think, is starting to get used to her, though. See. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other words or phrases? Okay.
Hovering, please. Who are always hovering?
What word?
Hovering in the background. Hovering. What?
Hovering in the background. Okay. Where's hovering? Okay. Where's that? Overly. Let's see.
Hovering.
Where is that at?
School teacher often bear. It's the same.
Yeah, that one. Who are always hovering in the background. Okay, so basically, hovering in the background would be as a parent that just comes into the classroom and stands behind where their children are and watches. Okay, it would be kind of like having you guys have an employee at work, or like Huseinaga, you're a doctor. If you have the parent of one of your nurses wanting to watch everything she does, so basically it would be the same kind of idea. So the parents, to hover means to stand behind somebody. So, and I hate it when somebody stands when I'm working on my computer. People should not be standing behind me. And what that means is hovering over me. I do not like it. I get very nervous when people are hovering over me. Does that make sense? And so, if they're hovering in the background, they're watching and being kind of annoying to the teachers. So.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right. Any other words? Okay, let's go on. So in the context of this article, let's choose the best explanation for the following phrases. So let's start with Anna. Can you do number 1? Can you read all of these? And
yes. To bear the brunt of something is to maybe letter A, experience the heaviest part of a bad thing.
Letter A. Oops, I'm sorry. That shouldn't have happened. Letter A is experience the heaviest part of a bad thing. Perfect. Yes, that other PDF came from another class, and I thought I had canceled it. Yeah, so to bear the brunt of something is to experience the heaviest part of a bad thing. So to bear the brunt of the students. Okay, all right. And Anna Christina, and welcome back. So you've been watching, so you know what's happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So can you do number 2?
An abusive parent. I am not sure, but I think that is letter C, rude.
Yes. So an abuse. This one, Anna Christina, we would say abusive. So an abusive parent.
Abusive.
So, abusive. Yeah. All right. Number 3, Ampero. Can you do number 3?
Fretting parent, I think, is worried.
Yeah, a fretting parent, yes, is definitely worried. They're complaining and they're fretting and they're like, oh, my child, my child, my child. So, Rodolfo, can you do number 4?
A pushy parent is aggressive.
Yes, a pushy parent is aggressive. Okay. All right. Number 5, Monica.
If something is almost unheard of, it is very rare.
Yes. So if something is almost unheard of, it is very rare. Perfect. All right. So let's go ahead and see if we can try to use these in the sentence. So to bear the brunt of something is to experience the heaviest part of a bad thing. An abusive parent is rude. A fretting parent is worried. A pushy parent is aggressive. And if something is almost unheard of, it is very rare. So let's fill in the spaces and using these words from exercise 3. So let's start with number 1, Ksenia. Can you try that one?
That salesman was really, I said no 3 times, but he wouldn't give up. Maybe pushy?
Yes, that salesman was very pushy. Perfect. Number 2, Jorgen, can you do that one?
Yes. The manager, let's see, that was fretting. No. I think I need some help with this one.
Okay, does anybody want to help him?
Yes, maybe have to bear of the criticisms for his team poor performance.
Okay, very close to that, Anna. And that one,
yes.
we would change that to the simple past tense. To bear is bore the brunt.
Okay. Yes.
The manager bore the brunt of the criticism for his team's poor performance, and that I think is normal. If you're a good manager, you are going to bear the brunt.
Sorry, I don't finish. I don't finish the sentences. Oh, I don't realize. But thank you. I made mistake with the 10th verse. Thank you.
Yeah, you did. No, not a problem. And all you did was you made it into the present perfect, and that was okay. But the simple past is better in this respect. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Number 3, Huseinaga. Can you try number 3?
You should stop. Oh, stop.
And the answer is here.
Letting parent. You should stop fretting.
Huh?
Fretting about your son. He's old enough to make his own choices.
Yes, stop fretting about. And it seems like I think especially mothers fret about their sons a lot more than fathers do. I think. Am I wrong? At least that's my mom. So, number 4, Jorgen, can you do that? No, wait. Yeah, Jorgen, can you do that one?
Yes. In some countries, snow in December is almost unheard of.
Almost unheard of. Okay, and Ksenia, could you do number 5?
I did. Maybe someone else wants.
Oh, you already have? Okay,
yeah,
sorry about that.
First.
Yeah. I've gotten confused. So Anna, could you do number 5?
Maybe is Andrea has a really abuse boss. He always shouts at her and calls her names.
Perfect. Andrea has a really abusive boss. He always shouts at her and calls her names. So it's actually, instead of Andrea, it's actually Andrea. Andrea. So, all right. And, okay, we're going to go on to a discussion here. So let's start with Rodolfo. What did you think of this article? Did anything surprise you?
No, I think the article cites the reality. Maybe in these times the parents are helicopters parents. And yes, I can see that in this moment in every families when the sons are very overprotected for his parents. I think that is normal in these times.
Normally in what?
Currently, in these times, that's very, very common.
Oh, okay. So it's normally in Kurdistan?
At this time, that is very common, I think.
in some countries, I think. I actually, after teaching this class for the first time, I called one of my friends who is a professor at the University of Wyoming, and I asked her if that was really true, and she said yes. And it's very frustrating that parents are actually calling her, and she's like, her students are adults.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. All right. So, Monica, do you think there is a problem with helicopter parents in your country?
Yes, I think that the situation is similar here in Italy, but mostly on for children on a high school. I don't think it happens at university like they said in this article. It seems strange to me that some parents could call a professor at the university. It doesn't happen here.
Yeah, I after living in Europe for 11 years, and one of the things that I've noticed when I came back, and is that the Americans are a lot more overprotective, and even when the kids are teenagers, they are not allowed to do things that kids in Europe are able to do. And maybe because of the safety and security or something like that. But in Europe, a lot of times kids can go to another city for a day and spend the day there, where a lot of American parents would if they went to a big city, they'd have to be with them the whole time. So that I think is one difference thing. So let's go to the next question. Jorgen, I'm going to skip this question because you're not a parent, but how involved were your parents in your education and career choices?
Well, they weren't that involved, and I think in Denmark, education is for free. And I believe when parents in America, they pay a large sum of money, quite a lot of money. They like to protect their
university.
They like to protect their investment, so to speak. I think that is perhaps one of the reasons why they're different why some parents in some countries are more overprotective and more engaged and more aggressive in terms of involvement in their kids' college and so forth, because they all have paid a lot of money. In Denmark, education is for free, so parents are perhaps more they are more relaxed, and they don't charge, because they don't have. I think to pay so much money for education is very stressful for parents, especially single parents. So they are just simply tense in every way. In Denmark, it is easier to be a parent because children can get an education either way.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
I believe it has something to do with that. I think when the nation gets poorer and people are struggling more economically, well then parents are they are more involved in their children's education. They have this attitude: you have to fight to survive, and all that. You won't get anything for free. You have to fight it, and then I also think that for many parents, their children are like an extension of their personality. So what the parents didn't achieve when they were young, they projected to their children, and then they live through their children. Then they can be aggressive because they have some kind of inferiority complex in their own life. So they use their children almost as a weapon to get back at the society, I believe. They never had an education themselves, but they're sure gonna make sure that their children are getting an advance in society. So.
Yeah, I had never thought about the money thing. I know that when I was in university, of course, I paid a lot for university, but my parents didn't help me. In the 4 years that I was in university, my parents sent me about $40, which is equivalent to what, €50 or something. So I didn't get any help, and my parents were not involved with my education when in university. And my
perhaps it's a misconception among people like the Danes that American parents always pay for their children's college, but it's not so.
No, it's not. But I would say that probably it's half. Maybe half of the parents will pay for the education, but not, or maybe 25%. I would say 25% of parents pay. But I was thinking, based on what you were saying is that maybe the helicopter parents are the ones that are paying for the kids' education, and that's why they are like that.
Yes, because they would like to protect their investment. They have
exactly.
They have sold their car or whatever, and they sure don't want to some kind of teacher, try to ruin their investment, and then they tend to be aggressive and maybe even turn to violence and attacks because they're like fighting, for them the whole life is like one big fight, It's also the attitude is also about us and them. We have these small nuclear families, and then they see themselves as some kind of fortress or something in a hostile world, and that is also something that has changed. I think
possibly.
Previously, I think people looked at themselves in a broader context as a group among groups. Now we have these small nuclear families that almost turn into some kind of fortresses, like a porcupines in a hostile environment, and I think that is very sad and unfortunate.
Okay, right. Let's go on. Hussein Naga, let's go to this question. How involved are you in your children's lives?
Can you explain for me more?
Yeah. Are you, like, for example, you have a child that's in middle school and you have a child who is in university. Do you know what they are doing every single day?
Very good question. I must control my younger son more than older son. If I ask him, my older son in university, he said we don't trouble about my behavior. I know also life and environment, and people may make or take narcotics around me. Other students maybe in university who cannot care about me. But for difficult my younger son, I must control him. For example, recent days he became a vegetarian diet, and I heard that maybe any group of people. I ask him what is behavior, manner, and my friends advised me you can control him. For parents, control very important, but over control is not
good.
Yes, not good.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Hussein Naga. Anna, why do you think parents are becoming more involved in their children's lives?
What question? Sorry, teacher. Why do you think parents are becoming more involved in their children's life?
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, parents are always worried about their life. because they don't want children fail in life. Maybe I suppose. Me major preoccupation worried about them was it, but however they choose their own work. I've never demand them to do some career. In my opinion, I think my children are happy.
Your child, yeah, because you were interested, but you weren't so controlling in your children's lives.
No, I've never involved in their lives when they have been older. As I was saying, they choose their own work. They are artists. I've never thought about that because, in my opinion, I like my son had working as in a similar work as mine, as a civil servant or a policeman or something like that. Is to be honest. But my older son is musician, a great musician, and my younger son is tattooist. So I've never involved in their career, never.
Okay, all right, thank you. And Anna Christine, are children more or less independent than 25 years ago?
Nowadays, the children are more intelligent and independent. Maybe the technology helps so much. Actually, the father need to work, and this aspect help to the children to be more independent.
Okay.
But the answer is
thank you.
yes. You are welcome, teacher.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't have the same opinion. I think they're less independent because I think, kind of like Jorgen said, they're more dependent on their parents' money, where when they were young, 25, 30 years ago, it wasn't the same. The parents didn't have as much money. But at least in my country, people are richer now than they were. So, Amparo, question: what should a school do if a parent continually rings about his or her child?
Well, I think that they have to take some decisions. For example, in some schools, they don't permit that the parents go to the school every day. They want the children to have the independence to try to solve the problems for themselves at the school. And I think that it is going to be a good decision. It's okay that the parents are involved, but when for example, the teachers or either they have a reunion with the parents, it's okay. When they have to report how the children are acting at the school. But to go every day to school is not healthy for the students, and they're very dependable of the parents. And sometimes I think that it's like some frustration that the parents have. They don't get the things that they want, and they want to reflect the frustration, pushing their children, trying to get the goals that they don't then get it.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So it's interesting. One of the things I found really interesting is it just dawned on me what Jorgen said was about the money that, at least in the U.S., we have a lot of helicopter parents because the parents are paying for it. And in Denmark, education is free. In Azerbaijan, Hussein Aga, is the universities free, or do the parents pay?
We have free and private and public, yes, public.
Yeah.
Education. If, of course, if public universities, you cannot pay, you could not pay, but for private schools or universities, you must pay. My older son has graduated. For him, I must pay.
You paid?
Yes, paid every year.
Yeah.
Even though in schools, private schools, for my younger son also I must pay in private school.
All right. Yeah, in the States as well, depending on the type of school, you either have private and public. In the U.S., the public schools it's still fairly expensive. But there is a feeling in the States that once a child is 18, they're cut loose, and the parents are not financially responsible for them anymore. But there are the helicopter type parents or the overprotective parents that will always pay more. So, Rodolfo, what country are you from, first of all?
I'm from Colombia.
Colombia, okay. In Colombia, are the universities free in Colombia?
No, we have a district university, but you should pay a little bit quantity of money, but it's not free.
Okay, it's not free. Okay, all right. All right. Well, it looks like actually we are out of time. I do want to thank you all for your participation, and I appreciate your what everybody had to say and giving your opinions about everything. And I'll see you again on another class. And so for those of you who are in Europe, sleep well.
Thank you.
Those of you who are in America, have a good afternoon and evening. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Holly.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.